Kevin Gausman on the hill today. What a spectacular day it is for a ball game. A Thursday afternoon special and the end of a 5-game series with Tampa Bay. Remember, they're going to play 4 more next week. It's time to sit down with TJ Burton, who handles amateur baseball for the Blue Jays and does so well at the job, to talk about the Canadian Futures Showcase coming up next week. Good to see you, by the way.
Good to see you, JB.
And it's headed for your hometown of Ottawa.
It is. It's exciting. The group from Ottawa has been great. We're really excited to be in the nation's capital.
You haven't been able to do this for 3 years. Do you know how that lull, the pandemic, has had an impact on development of young players like the ones that are going to be on the field in Ottawa?
Yeah, it was a really tough time for everybody, but I can't think of an area that was affected more in the baseball landscape of the world than Canada, because we weren't able to cross borders. So many of these kids, baseball is such a predominant sport, and not being able to basically compete against your own peers, but then go to things in the United States. It was very devastating for these kids, so it really slowed up the development of everything. So to be able to have a summer like this summer where the kids are back out on the field, and now to have this again where they can, showcase their talents in Canada for scouts, it's a great opportunity.
There are a number of players currently playing in the major leagues who took part in this tournament in past years. Abraham Toro out in Seattle, Charles LeBlanc of the Miami Marlins, Zach Pop, who plays here with the Blue Jays, Josh Naylor, for example, and Desan Brown, who's tearing it up for Vancouver right now. In the case of someone like Naylor, he was well on the radar of U.S. colleges and major league scouts at the time. Does this showcase benefit those who may not have been seen yet?
I think that's what this tournament was made for. I think the big names bring a lot of the big time scouts out, the cross-checkers, the assistant general managers, but the reality is this is a tournament where a Division II school can come from the United States and find maybe one of their best recruits or one of their best players for the following year. And we've had a lot of cases where kids have gone to those situations, done really well, and turned into draft picks. So that's kind of the whole idea of the tournament, is just to get the best 140 in one place where all these scouts can evaluate and have kind of the pick of the entire country.
I believe it was Andrew Case from New Brunswick had a great tournament one year, and the next thing you know, he's signing a contract with the Blue Jays. So
absolutely,
dreams are achievable thanks to tournaments like yours. Thank you, TJ. Nice to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
All right, that's TJ Burton of the Blue Jays, and you can attend those games in Ottawa beginning Tuesday. If I was there, I would be checking that out for sure. Here's Tampa Bay's lineup, brought to you by Bet365. Yandy Diaz, their leadoff man today, and he's had a very good series, 5 for 12 in the games he's played against the Blue Jays, as the Blue Jays and Rays wrap up their series here today. Let's send it off to the guys from SN Bets.
Thank you, Jamie. Mike Mahorovich and Anthony Bruno here at the SN Bets Big Board, presented by Bet365. AB, the guys have already talked about it, but the Rays get their guy back. Shane McClanahan starts the final game of this series.
The Rays must be fired up, Mike, because McClanahan faced the Blue Jays once this season and absolutely dominated them, giving up just 1 run and striking out 10 over 7 innings. But Toronto comes in as the favorite today at -135 on the money line. One of the reasons is that Kevin Gausman has also dominated the Rays this season, posting a 1.59 ERA in 17 innings. So I'm sure he's thrilled to see Tampa right now looking to bounce back after giving up 5 earned runs against Texas last weekend.
It's just the 5th appearance of the season for Chase Anderson, but his 3rd against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Cards have had their fun. In just 2 1/3 innings, they've scored 8 runs on 5 hits with 2 walks. I'm hoping history repeats itself tonight, and the Cards can keep getting to Anderson. He starts this game with an ERA of 9. I don't expect that to hold up, AB.
The Phillies currently hold down the second wild card spot in the NL and are going for win number 6 in a row tonight as they look to sweep the Marlins. Starting for Miami is Pablo Lopez, who was just torched for 8 earned runs in his last start against the Mets. He also has an ERA over 5 at home this season, and the Phillies have scored 4 or more runs in 6 of their last 7 games.
Since making his season debut in mid-August, Lance McCullers Jr. has stepped right back into his place with the elite pitchers in baseball. He has a career-best 2.20 ERA in his first 30 1/3 innings. The Athletics are far from a dangerous team at the plate, and in Lance's season debut, he dealt 6 scoreless innings to Oakland, walking 4 batters. He gave up just 2 hits. One of the elite pitchers in baseball versus a lineup hitting just .215 this year.
Going to be tough for Oakland, just like it's going to be tough to score runs at Rogers Center today. With McClanahan and Gausman on the mound this season, the Rays and Jays offenses have combined to score just 5 runs in 24 innings.
Not good.
But we'll see what the hottest hitter in baseball, Bo Bichette, has to say about that. Jamie, back to you.
Anthony, later tonight on Sportsnet, Cincinnati taking on St. Louis. The Cardinals lead the Central by 8 games. That comes your way on the network at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Later tonight on Sportsnet 1, San Diego, as we speak, is hanging on to the final wildcard spot in the National League. They've got a date with the Arizona Diamondbacks. You've got a date with us and your television, and we're grateful. As Shane McClanahan comes off the IL to take on the Blue Jays today here in Toronto. Stand by as we get closer to first pitch.
Pitched well against Tampa in his career. Got him. That was a good one right there.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kevin Gausman.
Strike 3. Kevin's rolling. What a paint job. Got him on the outside corner.
Strikeout number 10 for Kevin Gausman.
What a dominating performance.
Kevin Gausman, he's been brilliant again. A one-hit shutout against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight.
Ben Wagner on the radio, Matty Devlin on the television side for that game down in Tampa Bay. I believe he was working alongside my current partner, watching a double-digit strikeout game from Kevin Gausman, the 4th time he pulled that off this season, and he'll go today against the Tampa Bay Rays. As good as he has been all year, you are awfully impressed in this series in particular with the way John Schneider's utilized his bullpen. Explain that.
I mentioned to you Monday, Jamie, that I have circled Monday on the calendar because that's when things get real. You're starting to face your divisional opponents in a pennant race, and John Schneider is pushing all the right buttons, and it mainly comes to how you handle the bullpen. Jose Berrios on Monday night, 7th inning, top of the order. Who do you go to? Jimmy Garcia. It's the top of the order. You don't want to have Berrios face Diaz that 4th time. Comes in and gets the big double play ball. That sets up Mr. Romano to save yet another baseball game. So he lined it up perfectly, got Berrios out of there after an excellent start. Tuesday, the 2nd game of the doubleheader, an excellent effort by Alek Manoah, but once again, 4th time through the order. The top of the order is a Rosarena. You bring in your righty specialist, Anthony Bass. He gets the ground ball. Simber, who handled a couple of lefties during this little 4-batter stint, but then hands it over to Jordan Romano for the 4-out save, right? We've seen this before, but what about when the Blue Jays score a couple of more runs? How about saving our closer? What do you think, Pete? Yeah, I think so too, Schneids. What do you? Yeah, let's save those 3 outs. Maybe keep him rested. Zach Pop comes in to record the last few to get out of it. And then Wednesday night, it was Ross Stripling with the fantastic effort. But again, Jimmy Garcia, after giving up a couple of hits, you get Ross out of there, top of the order, couple of knocks, and then the 3 straight strikeouts. Anthony Bass comes in, arrested Anthony Bass to get the 9th inning in a 5-1 game. So you do these strategic moves. Jordan Romano was not used. He was saved a couple of days ago. So you're looking at your bullpen usage. You're trying to keep guys as rested as possible. You bring in an Anthony Bass. It's a 5-1 game against the Tampa Bay Rays. You do not want it to get away, so you go to your big guy, and he did, but you still didn't use Romano. Go back to using Jimmy Garcia in the 5th inning in Pittsburgh. That, to me, last weekend said, now it's for real, and Schneider's pushing all the right buttons. They're the right buttons when they work, too. So the relievers have certainly cooperated by doing the job.
Roberto Clemente's playing resume is well documented. He's in the Hall of Fame. What makes the man special is the fact that he was selfless. And in the winter of '72, after an earthquake wrecked Nicaragua, he organized a plane from Puerto Rico to go and help the people there. That plane never made it, and his body was never recovered, nor were those of anybody else on that plane. What a man. And Major League Baseball honors him today, and he's a proud Puerto Rican. So too is Jose Berrios, who had this conversation with Hazel May.
On this Roberto Clemente Day, it's an honor to speak with Bayamon, Puerto Rican-born Jose Berrios. I understand Bayamon is about less than an hour's drive from Carolina. Is that correct? About 34 kilometers? So let me ask you about your earliest memories when you first were told or heard about the great Roberto Clemente.
I mean, I growing up hearing a lot of good things about him. starting from my dad. I think he was my idol from my dad. You know, Roberto Clemente was an unbelievable player, but also better person out of the field. So that's why people are so impacted with him and his legacy. So yeah, like I said, I growing up hearing and watching a lot of good things about him, about baseball stuff, and also out of the field.
When Major League Baseball allowed players to wear 21, what was it like to put on Roberto Clemente's jersey number?
I mean, I want to be honestly, it feel like something special. I mean, honoring himself, you know, in this day, and also wearing his number. I think it was special. I mean, remember him, what he did, like I say, in this beautiful sport out there. So, yeah, when we had an opportunity and day like this, we can honor him and also think about all his history and what he did in his life.
What will you tell your children about him?
Roberto Clemente, I mean, right now they are so young, they start seeing and hear about him. Sebastian start knowing more because he's older. But yeah, I'm gonna say, like, you know, the great thing that I know and I seen, and also I went to his museum back in Pittsburgh. So special, you know, a lot of good stuff from him. Every accomplishment he made in baseball and also out of baseball. So yeah, I think we got a lot of history and good conversation to talk with my kids.
You beat me to that because I have photos of you guys at the museum. What stood out to you? I saw a photo of Vladdy holding his 3,000 hit baseball bat. What was really impressive to you?
I mean, it was so impressive. Like we hold it, we grab his bat. They are so heavy and big. I don't know how he handled that to hit, but also their glove, the uniform, the picture. You know, it was so you know, special because you seen and also you are hearing the history. The guy are explaining us why and when happened that.
Would you like Major League Baseball to retire number 21?
I mean, it's gonna be, yeah, an honor and also a great thing to him, like to do for him. But right now we enjoy to wearing his number in the back in Roberto Clemente Day.
All right, Jose Berrios, thank you for your memories and enjoy Roberto Clemente Day.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, guys, let's send it back to you.
The nominee for the Blue Jays in 2022 is Bo Bichette. You notice him on the field. You don't often notice all the things he does when not playing baseball. This is richly deserved and presented by Louis Rivera. Thanks for watching Blue Jays Central.